So after my video yesterday on the ribeye rolls and how it's perhaps now one of the best options that assault players can pick, we're going to turn our attention to the medic class and the RSC rifle. Added with the French DLC, this rifle has been given an absolutely massive buff by DICE in the recent patch, and maybe they even went a little bit too far. The RSC 1917 was already a very powerful weapon before this most recent patch, and mainly that's down to its use of the large 8mm Lebel round. This is the same round that the Shoshar LMG fires, and we know just how powerful that thing is. Now before the patch, it was capable of a 2-shot kill inside 40 meters or so, and it had a particularly slow rate of fire, making it quite hard to land follow-up shots consistently. After the patch, however, DICE has improved the rifle so significantly that I, and quite a few others that I've spoken to over the last day or so, feel the weapon might now almost be too good in the right hands. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it is too good, but it does take a certain playstyle change to make it work effectively, but there are scenarios where you can now completely dominate the enemy with it. Okay then, let's take a look at some of the changes that DICE has made to the RSC. First of all, DICE has fiddled around with the damage model on this rifle. The RSC now does a maximum damage of 53, wait for this, out to 70 meters. That's pretty insane for a medic rifle. That 53 max damage is not quite enough to allow for a one-hit kill to the head, because Battlefield 1 uses a 1.7 times damage multiplier for headshots, so you will need 2 shots to kill your enemy, but again, you'll need only 2 shots out to 70 meters. That's an almost unrivaled damage output within the medic class. If you bring bolt action rifles from the scout class into the equation, of course they will do more damage, but considering the RSC is semi-auto and can fire the next shot much faster than a bolt action rifle, the damage potential of the RSC at close to medium range is just incredible now. At longer ranges, the RSC drops to a minimum damage of 38, which still makes it capable of a 3-shot kill maximum. You get 5 rounds in a magazine plus 1 round in the chamber, so theoretically, at long range, you have the capability to take down 2 enemies in total per magazine, if you're accurate enough. And at close range, you can take down 3 players per magazine, only needing 2 shots per player. The RSC really does have a lot going for it now when you look purely at its damage statistics. But that's not where the good stuff ends. The RSC has got even more buffs going on here. DICE has also increased the RSC's rate of fire from 163 rounds a minute to 180 rounds a minute. Now that's quite a small increase, it doesn't sound too large, but when you consider the other larger scale changes made to all medic rifles in the medic class, which is a reduction in the spread increase after every single shot you fire, you can start to understand how this rate of fire increase might make a big difference. And in practice, trust me here, it does make a very big difference. If the RSC can fire faster than it did before, and it has a reduction in the amount of spread it produces, theoretically that means you can keep most of your shots on target more than you could before, and you can now deal the damage faster than you could before. Now, I don't believe DICE has intentionally made the RSC extremely powerful. As I said, all medic rifles received this reduction to their spread increase per shot with this patch. All of them had that reduced by 50%, so it really isn't as if the RSC is being singled out by DICE here. But the RSC, I kid you not, is near unstoppable now at mid-range until you run out of bullets to fire from the weapon. And I suppose that's its balancing feature. The RSC is certainly an extremely powerful rifle after this patch, but it's also extremely limited in terms of ammunition per magazine. This focuses the attention back towards how the rifle should really be used, as I think it is a totally different playstyle in comparison to really any of the other medic rifles, the Selbstarter 1916, the Mondragon, or even the fully automatic Fedorov Avtomat. The RSC needs to be used very differently in order to make it as effective as it looks in the gameplay you're watching now. Taking a look at the two variants here, there is a slight difference between the two, and depending on which range you're going for, you're going to want to pick one or the other. Now, the RSC Factory variant, that's best for players who want to operate at mid-range. The lower weight of the Factory variant means it regains its accuracy faster. And if you add that fact onto the new spread increase per shot reduction, it makes for one extremely accurate rifle in mid-range gunfights. The optical variant, that's best for a player who's looking to try and use the 3-hit kill potential at longer ranges. You get increased aimed accuracy versus the Factory, and you get a lens sight with a slightly higher maximum magnification. Both variants are extremely powerful in the right situations, but if you're not a player who appreciates a slower overall playstyle, then this weapon really isn't going to be for you, and you probably won't get the best out of it. If you're a medic who likes to run around, gun people down at close range, then the Fedorov Avtomat is still going to be the best option for you, despite it doing way less damage per shot. The RSC will fit perfectly for somebody who likes to operate at mid to long range, picking off targets one by one, reloading and then moving forwards. That kind of player will be able to take advantage of its now increased power at mid to long range and its great accuracy stats as well. With all this in mind, it is worth remembering again that it's not only the RSC that's getting a big buff from DICE here. All of the medic rifles are getting similar treatment, with increases to their damage potential at range and their ability to recover from spread faster than ever before. It's not as if it's the only weapon now to be much more attractive in the medic class. I'd say all of the rifles are now far better than they were before this patch, and they dominate combat at mid to long range. I've been killed countless times over the rounds that I've played in the last few days by medics from ranges where previously I might have been able to escape before that final bullet lands and kills me. Medics are now much more lethal, and arguably, I think they should be. They have had a short straw since Battlefield 1 launched. They've always lacked that competitive edge in gunfights that other weapon classes really did have. Now, they're just as dangerous as long as you're using them in the right situation. But is what DICE has done a little bit of a step too far for the RSC rifle? In my opinion, potentially. And I'm leaning more towards the yes side of the argument here. There is no denying that right now this is an extremely good and fun weapon to use. I'm not going to lie, it is fun to watch players drop after just 2 shots landing on their body inside 70 meters. It's extremely satisfying when that happens. But I do think DICE did buff it a little bit too much. The increased rate of fire on top of the extended damage at range makes for a weapon that is extremely hard to react to, and it's not fun to be on the receiving end of. You might have fun killing loads of players with it, but you can be pretty sure those enemies who tried to react to you are really angry that they died in just 2 shots. Now, a solution to this could simply be to reduce the rate of fire back down from 180 to 163 to allow players being targeted by a medic using the RSC to have a chance of making a move before they end up dying. The increased damage at range but low bullet count per magazine, that balances the RSC somewhat. I mean, it stops the holder from going on absolutely mental, elongated kill streaks, but reducing the rate of fire will give an enemy a split second longer to react in a gunfight, and I think that will settle the rifle back down and put it in line with the rest of the medic rifles that you can choose. But there you are, that's the end of the video today, but I'll be back tomorrow with more coverage of this massive weapons patch. Likely I've got my eyes on the support class, and there's a weapon in there that's got even better than it was before in a very particular way. Thank you very much for watching today. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section on these RSC changes. For sure, this patch is shaking things up a bit, and I know a lot of you have your own opinions about what is now good and what is bad, whether you like the patch or whether you dislike the patch. So make sure you leave your thoughts down below, and I'll be down there reading and replying to as many as I can. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.